Oh shit, bleed. We live, bleed. How this shit work though? Okay, so I got this screen over here. What else I got? Where's the chat at? Okay, I'm gonna have to just slide this over here. Put this back over here. Bring this up. Look, you wanna do some back testing? Fuck it. We finna do some reactions. I want this shit work now. Who, me? Let's see. That nigga said, what am I doing?
Tell me about the Baron.
Crazy conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. Project Hemisphere. If you're watching this video, you likely know what a wiretap is, right? Maybe you watched a movie about mafia bosses or drug lords and the police are trying to get information from them and they tap their phone. That's a real thing, and in those situations, that's a useful tool. But what if I told you the American government actually had a partnership with the third largest cell provider in all of the United States to track all of their customers' data? Well, hopefully you believe me, because it's true, and it's called Project Hemisphere. In 2007, the Office of National Drug Control Policy, the ONDCP, started a partnership with the cell phone provider AT&T, the third largest cell provider in the entire United States. And this partnership was for profit, meaning that the U.S. government was not only gaining access to all of AT&T's data, which we'll get into exactly what that contains, but they are literally selling the information directly to the United States government. But this isn't just a high-level operation. Sheriff's offices and police departments across all of the United States each individually pay anywhere from $1 million per year plus to maintain access to all of AT&T's records. And they're paying this much because obviously this information is valuable to the authorities. But there's a lot of questions. How long has this been going on? What do they use this information for? What information do they get access to? And is this legal, and did anybody even agree to this? Let me answer all those questions in that order. Project Hemisphere as a project dates back all the way back into 1987, with the U.S. government using other methods to collect data based off of telephone conversations, likely partnering with other landline and communication companies of the time. And while AT&T only became part of Project Hemisphere during 2007 and was exposed in 2013, there's absolutely no information pointing towards AT&T ending or planning on ending this partnership anytime soon, if at all. After Project Hemisphere was widely exposed, there was a leaked document that showed exactly how sneaky AT&T was. And the contract between the government agency buying the data and AT&T goes as follows. The government agency agrees not to use the data as evidence in any judicial or administrative proceedings unless there is no other available and admissible.
Well, my shit be like ringing out of nowhere. What the fuck?
Information provided by the contractor is non-attributable to AT&T if the data is provided to a third party. That is a direct quote, and also just a small snippet of part of the contract between these government agencies and AT&T. And what it basically says is, you didn't buy this for us, and you don't even know where this came from. They essentially wanted to separate the AT&T brand as much as possible from the data that they were selling to the government. And while Project Hemisphere is still technically, officially secret, all information used in court filings, case reports, and other documents involving Project Hemisphere are cited as information obtained from an AT&T subpoena, which on paper made it look like the government forced AT&T to give up the data on this one specific situation, but in reality they were paying for it all along. And AT&T was more than willing to not only give access to their data, but to sell everybody's data to any government agency that was willing to pay. Now, what exactly did the government want to use this data for? In 2013, after Project Hemisphere was officially exposed, different law enforcement agencies made it it seem like they were only using this to specifically find people that were involved in high-level drug-related activities. But through some of the available information during the initial expose in 2013, it was proven that they were also looking into other non-drug-related crimes, such as bomb threats, impersonating military generals, organized crime, and other crimes of the sort. But they were all crime-related. Now the question remains, what do they even have access to? What data is AT&T collecting, storing, and selling? And the simple answer is everything, always, and forever. The longer answer is AT&T specifically collects and stores metadata related to every single call that happens on any part of their infrastructure. And this metadata includes the phone numbers that called each other, who these people are, the date of these phone calls, the length of these phone calls, when these phone calls took place, where these people were when they took place of these phone calls, text messages, voicemails, and anything else that AT&T has access to, they are collecting, storing, and selling to the US government. And I guess the final question is this even legal? And that's where we are today. As I mentioned, this project is still technically officially secret, although at this point it's not a secret at all. And with this information being known and well exposed and relatively well discussed, there is significant legal and privacy concerns surrounding this entire operation. But nothing is formally being done. And I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know if this is legal or not. But even if it's not, it's going to take a lot of force to make anything change. In November of 2023, U.S. Senator Ronald Lee Wyden addressed the U.S. General Attorney Merrick Garland and called for the release of additional information regarding Project Hemisphere. And in this letter from this U.S. Senator, he expressed his massive concern for the legality of this operation that was currently ongoing, and how they were able to conduct such extensive searches of domestic phone records without any need for
Huh? He done lost? He the lost? Oh, because how he got out so fast?
He been the lost, bro. That nigga lost, bro.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Tied too.
Yeah.
You'll never think, bro. But niggas, Ty got stabbed back in the day, nigga. Really gotta understand. They asked him who stabbed his brother and shit. But that dude in the courtroom.
Ty his real brother?
Cousin Wilkins. He's certified though. Certified rap. Certified. He was up there. They asked him who's that his brother? What house was the address of the house? They asked him who's that brother. He said, do I gotta tell him? Do I
warrant. Which is true. Like I said, if you are using AT&T right now, any government agency that is currently paying for access to the database can access anything you've ever done on the AT&T ecosystem. Calls, texts, voicemails, anything. And as of the legality, people are definitely curious and concerned, but nothing's being done as of yet. So this conspiracy is still ongoing and developing, so maybe in a future episode I'll follow up. I think in this day and age, it's pretty well assumed that the government has access to any piece of information they could possibly ever want or need. And even if they don't have direct access to it, they could get it relatively quickly. And Project Hemisphere is just proof of that. And for some people, this may not seem shocking at all. Although in 2013, when this was first exposed, I'm sure this was a rather alarming revelation. And on top of that, to discover that this has been going on since 1987 is definitely enough to make you raise an eyebrow. Of course, you could say, why worry if you have nothing to hide? But at the same token, there is definitely a violation of privacy happening here. Like, if the government subpoenaed AT&T about a specific court case that is actively ongoing, that's one thing, and that's a different conversation. But any government agency or police unit being able to pay to have access to essentially everybody's phone records is an entirely different situation. If nothing else, it's interesting to think about. Because if you are an American taxpayer and also a customer of AT&T, you are essentially paying for the people who are spying on you to spy on you by providing them your information that you pay for. for. It's kind of like hiring a private investigator and being like, hey, I'm gonna pay you to follow me around, and also here's a tracking device that I'm just gonna put in my pocket. Use it to track me at any time, and I'm gonna pay for all of this. But with that being said, this is only the first entry on this list. So let's keep going. Operation Snow White. The Church of Scientology is likely the most famous cult in all of human history. They've got a massive headquarters in Los Angeles, not to mention their alleged 11,000 locations worldwide, a very wealthy, powerful, and influential member base, and likely one of the most controversial rises and existences in modern day.
This game
I had a song. I remixed that G Herbo. All I could really do in that bitch was I got hella songs though. I can't find no beats yet. I found some like that Let Go. G Herbo. That No Sleep. It's certain shit I made already that I recorded that I wrote in the county. I just found beats to them bitches. The other shit I got, I just ain't found no beat.
To play that out there.
Let's see.
Oh, I need to listen to turn paint music.
Damn, see that. Flick it.
Been talking me on the level rap. He say he is that cap, and he say he is that back. Me, I got hours of free down, putting this back. Do this on the food, it's easy to do it. I feel like 10, 15, tell you, y'all make campaign moves. Y'all do drugs, not once in a influence. Suckers are stupid. You wanna down, cause you left me when I was wrong. Bitch, I ain't changed. I did drugs like this back then when you was stupid. See, yo, I'm raising well. You out there, one breaking them off. See, Cowboy gave him some. I got like 2 pain, one none of this talk. Dumb shit, I gotta put up a problem. She left me on red back then, and my dick and I dropped. Cool, she wanna fuck with box. Blues, I need 3 M's in the vault. Stay with a shooter like movies. Dated designer, Glock tucked in the suit. She used to play like she never knew. You know, we be late, she like play with my coochie. Turn bitch, she like to shop her booty. She up and down lit, tryna get groovy. She said she wanna be JC or Uzi. Spike Lee, we finna make us a movie. Wait, she like CG, love me for real. Or you just tryna wait for the sex? Yeah, now let me know that it's real. Tell my name big as hell on your neck. The blood, shorty, she dead.
Oh, fuck, you know I'm blessed.
You know bustin'.
He said it his corporate voice.